Vaheguru Ji Ki Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the Sikh channel. You're here with me, Jaggi Sohal, for another edition of Sikhs in Sports, the show where I'll be interviewing a variety of Sikh sporting talent. Today we have with us pool player Raj Handal. Raj, how are you?
I'm good,
Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
So for those who don't know about you, can you tell us a little bit about your accomplishments so far?
Well, I think I'm pretty much the only professional pool player, like Indian, you know, to do it at the level of a world-class level.
Yeah.
So I spent my life playing pool. I started playing Q sports at the age of 6, started off playing snooker.
Yeah, I read that. I read that you started playing snooker, and then your dad's an avid player, isn't he, as well?
Used to be, yeah. He's been a bit retired for a while, but my dad played a lot of sports. He was very, very active in sports, and actually I think my dad held some serious records as well, like a javelin record and a cross-country record at one time.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell now, he's got a bit of a gut on it, but he's very, very athletic. I mean, I've never been as athletic as he once was.
Right.
But we've always had a skill in our hands.
Yeah.
And I think that's a Sikh thing too. You know, I think we're all kind of gifted and blessed with hand and eye coordination.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, look, I can see it within my family a lot.
Yeah.
I can see it within my son.
Yeah.
It's something in our genes that gives us hand and eye. Maybe because we come from cavalry, throwing spears, and you know, we were very gifted in certain martial arts like Gatka and things like that growing up in our ancestors.
Yeah.
So you know, you can't deny DNA.
Yeah, exactly. But you're one of the few to kind of actually utilise it and do it in a positive way, because you've made a really good career out of it, haven't you? So, you know, playing pool and...
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think I just got lucky a little bit, you know, but yeah, I did manage to forge a career out of playing pool, which is quite nice. But saying that, we have had a few, not in pool. I mean, sadly, I'm the only one to date. Yeah. But I'd like to think there's some kids out there, and once in a while I get a message from, whether it be in India or even somewhere here, like a couple of times out in the Midlands, where there's been some Asian kids that have said, Raj, look, you showed us that it's possible. Yeah. And
that must be nice.
That is nice. I mean, what's the point of having talent or a gift if you can't share it like that?
Yeah.
So that's a blessing. That really is a blessing.
Now, they also call you Raj the Hitman Handal, which I really like. But who came up with that?
Actually, it's funny. That was a nickname given to me. Wow, that was half a lifetime ago. I was 17 years old. Yeah. And I used to play I was just coming out and just learning my feet in the game of pool. I was 17 years old. I actually did turn professional that year. Yeah. And I was playing in Victoria Pool Shack, and there was a guy there. His name's Ali Ramsey. Right. And I remember he was a real character, right? Yeah. He used to hang out in the pool hall. He was there like furniture. Right. And this guy there, for days he was trying to give me a nickname. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna be a star. You're gonna be one of the top pool players." And you know, he had a real mouthpiece on him. Like, he's a brilliant character, awesome character, and a decent player. And one day it was this, and one day it was that. Another day it'd be like, "Oh, you're the Hurricane Handal. You're the this, you're the that." And then all of a sudden he goes, "I know it. I got it." Yeah. I said, "Well, what is it?" And he goes, "You're the Hitman." I didn't pay him no mind, right? I didn't pay him no mind. Next thing I know, they start calling me that in the pool room. It's like, "Oh, look, there's the Hitman, there's the Hitman." Maybe because the way I played and a certain look that I might have, or...
So it works, though. It works. It suits everything. It suits the kind of game.
I never complained. I said, "Look, that's all right." You know, it's not like they called me the hamster or anything like that. You know, the Hitman, that's all right. It sounded pretty cool, but no, I do not go around killing people. That's not what I do. You know, I'm a peaceful brother.
So what kind of first got you into pool? So what was the kind of thing that you thought, yeah, you know what, I want to pursue a career in this?
It's weird, actually. I mean, first thing, I fell in love with snooker. Yeah. I fell in love with snooker. So Q Sports is you know, it's a big part of my life. But growing up, just watching on TV, like my dad would watch, and we'll have the great late Alex Higgins. Yeah. He was brilliant. He was phenomenal. I used to love watching him. Jimmy White. Yeah. I used to love watching him play. You know, these are my... It's funny, like, Jimmy's actually a good friend now. Yeah. But it was like, as a kid, I used to grow up watching Jimmy and be like, man, Jimmy's a rock star, you know? Like, he's on the pool table, on the snooker table, sorry, although he has played pool too. Yeah. Doing his thing at a very high level, and just... He entertained as well. He made it look good. It was not a boring sport when he played. And no disrespect to anybody like Steve Davis or anyone like that. They're great champions and phenomenal. And Stephen envied a lot. But you know the difference between your Jimmys and your Ronnies.
Yeah.
To the rest, you know, it's they do it with an extra flair, and I really enjoy that. And
so watching them kind of inspired you.
Yeah. Well, watching them, it kind of gave me an idea at a very young age of what I wanted to do. I thought, this is nice. Look at these guys playing this elegant game, and walking around, and receiving applause, and I thought, it'd be nice to lift a couple of trophies in my lifetime. I mean, I knew that as a kid, I'd really like to do that.
Yeah.
Can I put my hand on my heart and say I know I was going to do it? I don't know for sure. I knew the odds were stacked against me, but I guess there's something in that Sikh blood too that, when the numbers are stacked against you,
you go for it.
Something happens.
Yeah.
Something happens in the heart and in the gut and the belly where there's a fire that it almost can't be explained. And sometimes I think you're born with it or you're not.
Yeah.
So I do believe it's a gift, but.
Now, it is not the traditional Indian career path, A lot of families say, Dr. Vanna, business guy, lawyer Vanna, So did that make you more determined to kind of, be one of the kind of first kind of Asian pool players in the UK?
I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'd like to say, it shouldn't. But the truth is, with me, it did work that way. It did inspire me. People told me I couldn't do it, I couldn't do this. Well, all you did really was just pour petrol on fire.
Yeah.
That's all. So the more people said that, oh, you're a crazy kid, you ain't never going to do this, It's weird, though, because I see the same people now, they try and hang out and want to take a picture. You catch them at a family wedding. Oh, yeah. Come here, start getting the selfie sticks out. And then I think, well, you're singing a different tune now, But anyway, that's the past, and whatever's whatever. We're always looking forward. I don't never want to dwell on no negativity, but I do have a memory.
Yeah,
I do remember what people used to say once upon a time, and
I bet that's nice now though to know that you can prove them all wrong. You've done well. You've got you are a champion in that field. So
To be honest, I'll be honest with you that it is a nice feeling. But for me, it's a nicer feeling when someone comes up and say they want me to sign something or they want to take a picture. For me, the nice feeling really is when I can see my mum and dad or somebody in the background and they say, oh, you know what, that's our kid.
Yeah.
For me, I get a bigger buzz out of that. That's my. For me, it got old a little bit. You know what I mean? I still enjoy it. I still love it when somebody comes over and says, "Oh, Raj, I watched that match of yours," or somebody could come over and say, "You know what? I watched that match that you got beaten.
Yeah.
But you could have did this, that." But I still think, you know what? They're paying attention.
Yeah.
I got them interested in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to have to hold their thought, to hold their attention for their time.
Now, I want to ask about, because you mentioned your mum and dad, what was their kind of reactions? What was your family's reactions when you said, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, Paul?
See, I'll be honest with you, there's a stereotype out there of Asian parents not supporting their kids in what you would call, it's an unorthodox path, isn't it? It's not it's not the, regular, like, you expect your kid to come home and say, I'm going to be a dentist or a doctor or something. Your kid comes home
every day,
kid comes home and says, you know what, I'm going to go chalk my pool cue up and I'll see you all later. It's different. Truth is, my dad said to me, look, son, if you're going to go do it, don't be good. You got to be great at it.
Yeah.
You got to really, really, go for it. I mean, and don't just do it where they say, he was best in town. He was one of the best in the country. He goes, you got to go to the world stage. And I'm lucky enough to be able to say, hand on my heart, I'm a world-class player.
Yeah.
I've won a world title.
Exactly.
I'm blessed to have had the opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to have had the talent to do it, and I'm blessed to have had the heart to do it.
Yeah.
Because it takes a combination of quite a few things, and I really did have great support. My mum as well was, she's fearless. My mother. Yeah. She's maybe if she was born in a different time, or like how my mum is, if born as a man sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the things that she might have gone on to have done.
Yeah.
My mum's a leader.
Yeah.
She's a leader, but I think not that her family. My mother lost her mother at a very young age.
Yeah.
My granddad was a captain in the Indian Army, so that side the family's very forward thinking.
Yeah.
But I don't think the country at the time, India, was ready to raise. I don't know if they're ready now. There's a lot of bad things that go on. The media will lie to you all day and night, But the truth is, I don't think the country definitely wasn't ready at that time for as strong of a female.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
no, do you know what? Mums are sometimes the backbone of the family, aren't they? They really are. So
listen, not sometimes, they are.
Yeah.
You can't replace mothers.
Yeah, exactly. So what kind of roles do your family play in your, are they part of your team, or are they just more of a support system?
Just a support system, you know?
Yeah.
If ever I get too ahead of myself, my mum will check me.
Yeah.
You know? She'll put me straight, you know, if there's time. And look, sport is highs and lows.
Yeah.
You know, and just little things like mum will say, you know what, well, why don't you go and get God's blessings before you go catch this flight and go to this tournament. And I love to do that. I love to go to my local Gurdwara, you know, bow my head and ask God for the strength.
Yeah.
So a lot of that I get from, you know, the faith and the strength and things like that. I get from my mother.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the talent and love for sports and things I get from my father.
Yeah.
You know, and my dad, you got to remember, my mum and dad are only like 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
So we're very much friends as opposed to, you know, parents and.
That's nice. That's nice to have that healthy kind of relationship.
And and then my wife, you know, she supports me greatly.
That's good.
My son as well, although he misses me if I'm away from home.
Yeah.
You know, he gives me the guilt trip on the old Skype, so I feel like getting home.
I was going to say, congratulations are in order, because you've got another little one on the way.
Yes, we do. We actually do have another child on the way, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, another blessing from God.
You're going to have some stories to tell them, aren't you?
Yeah, but you know what? I look forward to hearing their stories.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm tired of my stories already. I know my story. I want to see what they have in store, and I really do hope somewhere along the line, like, you know, my kids or my brother's kids, because I see them as my kids as well.
Yeah.
Although he's only got one now, but I'm hoping, God willing, in the future, he'll have some more. You know, somewhere in there, there's a champ. Of, you know, girl or boy, it's all the same. It's all the same. And it'd be nice to see a chat. And I'm not even talking about pool. I mean, actually, you know what? Please, not pool. Go find another sport. Yeah. Let me help you. You know, one of them can be. Yeah. I'd love to be able to see my surname, or I say our surname, on like a Wimbledon trophy.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
You know, that's something real special.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be nice, but. Hey, listen, you never know, right?
Exactly, you never know, you never know. I could be interviewing them in like 20 years' time, so you never know. So I wanted to, how did you get to where you are today? Like, what kind of obstacles did you have to overcome and stuff like that?
I mean, first obstacle is defeating your opponents.
Yeah.
You know, high pressure situations. But even before you get to all of that, there's problems like there's always going to be in sports and you know, the politics. There's a lot of politics. And I'll be honest with you, there was a promoter once upon a time here in the UK. At the start of my career, he really was holding me back because I was putting people to sleep on that pool table. I was putting them out. I was putting them into retirement early. Yeah. A lot of them. They'd realise that, you know what, there's a new king in town. Yeah, so in the UK, there were... And I was taking their spots, going into other tournaments, and a couple of times I was held back. And there's some politics for whatever reason. It's a bit funny though when it's only the one brown kid that gets held back.
Yeah, no, because I was going to ask that. Like, being Sikh and like South Asian, do you think that kind of helped or hindered your chances?
I don't. You know what? I can't see it in a negative form. I can only see it that being born a Sikh, I'm so lucky. Yeah. I'm so blessed. I'm unruly. Yeah. You know, I'm not to be. I'm not going to be controlled by no promoter. Yeah. There's never going to be no fame or money or things like that are going to control me. Yeah. I don't care for that. You know, I don't. And people see, some people could say that, and it could be an act as well. Yeah. But you can sit there and ask anybody that knows me, has spent time with me. They know I really don't care for none of that. Yeah. I'm still a kid at my heart. Yeah. Which means that I want to do what my heart wants me to do. So if I want to go and play pool. Yeah. You're never going to stop me.
Yeah, you're going to go do it. Yeah.
You're never going to. Nobody on earth is going to stop me from doing that. Even if it meant I break away from the tours that are present and set up my own tour, which I'm in the middle of doing right now. I am probably the guy that you always want to have on your team. Yeah. Because if I'm on the other team, there's a good chance that there's a good chance, but you know, your team and my team, you know, my team's going to get the upper hand in the end. Yeah. You know, I'm not one for losing.
Oh, there you go. That's why you've achieved so much success. So, I wanted to ask, like, what do you define as success? Because some people, it's kind of having that graduation photo on the mantelpiece. Some people, it's material stuff like cars or getting on the property ladder, you know. Some people, you know, what for you do you define as success? Like, when did you think, oh, you know what, I've made it?
For me, success is peace.
Yeah?
It's peace of mind. Nothing to do with money, because some of the happiest people I know don't really have too much money.
Yeah, that's really true. You know, that's really true.
But they're happy, they're content. So it's about being content with. Because I'll be honest with you, I've got more in life, say, if you want to talk about money and things like that, than I probably ever need. Yeah. You know, or ever imagined I would need or have or anything like that. So really, it's about peace for me. It's about finding that ground of, like, when I wake up, am I happy with what I've achieved? And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of tournaments I left on the table in terms of I could have won, probably should have won. Yeah. And maybe I got beat in the semi-final. I took a few losses in a few finals here and there. But that's all part of the journey. Yeah. That's even learning from the losses. It makes the victory sweeter. Yeah. You know, and I definitely feel that I should have won more events and done more. And times I've lost focus and things like that. So I've had a lot of ups, like anybody would in any career, right? Yeah. But in the end, what I'm eternally looking for, and I've got things like a property portfolio and stuff like that on the side and whatever. But that's just on the side. Yeah. And I also know that's only with me now while I'm here on this planet. Yeah. I'm not going to take it with me. Exactly. But I like the idea that one day when I'm not here, some kid can go on YouTube or maybe go on one of my social medias. Yeah. And just type my name in, Raj Singh, and I'm still here. There you go. You know, I'm even still, a legacy. Yeah, there's a body of my work. It's still there, and look, that's. I feel like I'm an artist sometimes, but I painted my picture on a pool table. Yeah. Now there is a lack of Sikhs in sports. There is, you know, apart from cricket, where we kind of Indians do dominate, but you know, there's lack of Sikhs in sports. Why do you think that is? First of all, you got to remember, as far as Indians go, Sikhs are the minority as well. Yeah. So that you do got to account for that. We're not the biggest number, but I do feel that sometimes it's the parents' fault. Yeah. It's not the children's fault. It's the, again, going back to success. Maybe everybody believes success is money. Yeah. It really ain't. I'll be honest with you. I know some people with a lot of money that are absolutely miserable. Yeah. Miserable. People need to get out of that mentality now, don't they? You've got to get out of the mentality of money, because all we're really doing, we're just slaves to what technically is a banking system. Yeah. That's all. No, exactly. And it's numbers. I think the great Bob Marley said that. He goes, if you want to chase numbers your whole life, they don't end. Exactly. They're just... You're always going to want more. If you get a certain salary, you're always going to want more. So you might as well go after something you're actually happy with. And do something you're happy with, be content, excel at that. Exactly. Give something back to the world, even if it's your art or whatever it is. Yeah. You know, share that. But I think the parents really and truly are too hell-bent on, nope, you have to go and be a lawyer. You've got to go be a dentist. And... there's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Fair play. Look, if you enjoy that, you want to be an accountant, be the best accountant you can be. You want to be a doctor, go and be the best doctor. But do you really want to be that? Yeah. You know, so I'm sure there's kids out there that have dreams that want to do a lot of different things. It might even be playing a musical instrument. It could be a lot of things. But at the same time, it's about support from family. And I know of certain cases and situations where they didn't get the support. Yeah. And then all the kids really got is a could-have-been story. Yeah, which is it's a shame, isn't it? I'm glad that one day when I retire, even if I never win a tournament from here on out, I did win a world title. I did win some other titles, won some tournaments abroad here and there. Yeah. I broke some records in the UK. I can live with that. Yeah. And I still feel I've underachieved, I'll be honest with you. But I can live with that. Yeah. I can look at that in the end and go, I did something. Yeah. I existed in a time. You know? And you done something you were happy with as well. I was over the moon. Yeah. And I'd have paid money to do it. Forget being paid to do it. It's just, it was a love, it's a passion, it's a hobby. Yeah. It still burns in me. I'm still, you know, just talking about it, I feel young. You know, it brings me back to that time. I forget I'm in my mid-30s now. Now, do you feel, you being kind of one of the Asian, you know, Sikh talents in pool at the moment, do you feel like pressure to represent the Sikh community in like a positive light? I mean, I'll be honest, not only do I feel like I represent the Sikh community, but I've got to represent my family.
Yeah.
I've got to represent my family. I've got to represent. I've also got to represent for other pool players worldwide.
Yeah.
When I come in, I talk to you. I have to talk to you a certain way because I'm representing them and my sport.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot of things I got to represent, but then so do you. We all have responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
And responsibility, you're either going to man up and deal with it, or you're going to run away and be scared forever. So I don't try to put extra pressure on myself or anything. I just think, right, this is coming. I've got to deal with this, and that's it. I'm just going to get on with it now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And how has your support been? Because I bet you get a lot of support from up in here, all around the UK.
I do, actually. I do,
Yeah.
and I'm forever thankful. I'm forever thankful. Even just sometimes you get a message on like your social medias, whether it be your Instagram or your Facebook or your Twitter, and just people just wishing you good luck. That's nice.
Yeah.
I think, that person took a minute out of their day to send me some love.
Yeah.
And that's the best. You can't. That is a trophy.
Yeah.
Right there. That's the ultimate one, because you can't. How do you put a price on someone's time?
Yeah.
You can't.
And we were talking before the show, and we were talking about being your own boss and how it's in the Sikh blood, and how kind of we want to. We don't want to work for someone, we want to create our own kind of, futures and our own work. Bearing that in mind, like, what are you kind of working on at the moment, and what are your goals for the future?
See, I'll be honest with you, there's a big difference between, let's just say, being your own boss, right? Being your own boss is great, but in terms of, say, working for someone, I'm not one to really take orders, right? But don't get me wrong, I love working with people, but they've got to be like-minded. And I don't mind them telling me, Raj, I need you to do this. This is your side of the deal. You've got to handle that.
Yeah.
And I'll be telling them, you've got to handle this side. But there's a way of talking to each other.
Exactly.
There's a love and respect there. There's a mutual respect.
Yeah.
And we get on with what it is we need to do. So I love working with people, but I don't like, and I don't do it. And that's why now I'm the first, where I'll be honest, I've been a little inactive with my play over the last few years.
Right.
I just don't like the way promoters are talking.
Yeah.
And I'm not for that. I think promoters got to understand, nobody's coming to see you play.
Yeah.
No one actually knows who you are.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and be honest, without sounding bad. That's the truth.
Yeah.
The stars are the other pool players.
Yeah.
The great Filipino players, the great Taiwanese players, the great whatever players, There's an Indian kid somewhere that plays decent. So the fans have come to watch them.
Yeah.
But the promoters are treating us like just whatever, just brush them aside here, not even to the point. I send a decent car when I land at the airport.
Yeah.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, have a bit of, think a little here, like the whole process, start to finish, who's really who, and how you're treating that person.
Yeah.
So I've just got tired of it, and I'm not for slave labour, and I'm not for being controlled. And again, that's a very Sikh thing.
Yeah.
That's a very we are rebellious in our blood, but for the right reason, not unnecessarily. Yeah. You don't really want to be a rebel without a cause.
Yeah. No, exactly. So, exactly.
But with that being said, it has pushed me into the world of promoting.
Yeah.
So we got our first event. What we've actually set up is the equivalent of what is the IPL for cricket,
right?
But for Q Sports.
Okay.
So
nice. That'd be good.
So we got that with Paul, and we're looking at our first event come May.
Yeah.
May time. It might even be June. I know June's going to be a busy month for me, so maybe like early June. But I've got to pop out to Toronto, Canada. That's where my business partners are based. And we're going to shoot our first event. And it's exciting, That
is exciting.
Yeah, well, I'm excited myself, I'll be honest. That's like...
you have to come back on when that will
100%.
Go in. Yeah.
100%.
Well, so lastly, can you give any advice to our audience and the youth of today about, pursuing sports if that's their dream and, what they can do about it?
Any advice? Well, what I say is, whether it's sport, it's something you enjoy, anything it is, just put your heart and soul into it, because when it's all said and done, you don't want to sit there with regret. And that's what I think is the worst feeling in life.
Yeah.
I think success comes really genuinely within peace.
Yeah.
So if at the end of the whole tale you could sit there and put your hand on your heart and go, you know what? I achieved this. That's what I went out to do. Even if you set the bar really high, but you ended up here, that's all right. It's not the end of the world, Like, what's the saying? Was it aim for the moon and you might just land on the stars?
Yeah.
So it's that way. Like you have
Raj,
to be.
Running out of time, so we're just going to have to wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, and come on soon, definitely. All right, thank you very much. Good luck with everything. I hope you guys enjoyed today's edition of Sikhs in Sports. There's plenty more to come from the show, so stay tuned with the Sikh channel. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.